The timeless country music legend Dolly Parton is renowned for her remarkable songwriting abilities and appealing vocals. She is now a living legend, having spent over 60 years in music, movies, and humanitarian endeavors. Her charming voice and endearing personality enchanted audiences, and her giving nature and unfailing optimism have won millions of hearts. However, few realize the suffering and hardships lurking beneath the glitzy celebrity. How could this little lady, carrying so much grief, get up so strong, take over the globe, and inspire millions? Let's explore Dolly Parton's incredible journey and unseen stories, the story of an indestructible legend. Early life. Dolly Rebecca Parton was born on January 19, 1946, in a little one-room cabin in Locust Ridge, Tennessee, surrounded by the magnificent Appalachian Mountains and sitting alongside the banks of the Little Pigeon River. Dolly's early recollections are often linked to the harsh reality of poverty and challenging living circumstances, since the cabin lacked running water, electricity, and other contemporary luxuries. The Parton children had to envelop themselves in flimsy clothing and blankets to protect themselves from the freezing temperatures during the harsh Appalachian winters. Dolly once related how to remain warm at night. The whole family would gather on a little bed and listen to their mother's reassuring tales while sharing warmth. Robert Lee Parton, Dolly's father, was a sharecropper who earned a living by cultivating tobacco and working in construction. He had no formal education, but he was a strong, industrious guy who was illiterate. Nevertheless, Robert was clever and diligent, making the most of his limited resources to support his vast family. He taught Dolly and her siblings the importance of responsibility and hard work. Imagination Library. Dolly had always held her father in the highest regard, and his selflessness subsequently moved her to establish the charity Imagination Library. In addition to being the family's emotional pillar, Dolly's mother, Avie Lee Owens, had a strong passion for music. Avie Lee had 12 children by the age of 35 and often sang hymns and folk tunes to reassure and calm them. Every time the kids felt depressed or scared, Avie's soft voice would permeate the room, inspiring them and giving them calm. It was Avie who ignited Dolly's love of music. Even though they didn't have much amusement, Dolly would remember from an early age that music filled their little house and made their harsh existence easier. The fourth of 12 children, Dolly picked up responsibility and shared fast. She had to assist in caring for her younger siblings and being a young child who enjoyed singing. When a new baby was born, Dolly's mother would give it to one of the older kids and say, "This is your baby." This responsibility went beyond play. It included getting up in the middle of the night to feed and soothe the infant to sleep. Dolly cared for her brother Larry when she was only 9. Young Dolly was devastated when Larry tragically died a few days after his birth. Although the tragedy left her with a permanent scar that she carried with her for the rest of her life, it also strengthened her and gave her the inspiration for many touching songs about grief, love, and family. Cherishing simple beauty of life. Dolly's upbringing wasn't entirely depressing, despite the challenges. With its serene rivers, untamed pastures, and starry night sky, the Appalachian Mountains' natural splendor brought her delight. She learned how to value essential beauty of existence there, appreciating each blade of grass and each ripple in the river. Dolly's vivid imagination was stoked by the local folktales and legends and her mother's songs. Dolly started penning her first songs at 7, showing an innate ability to combine straightforward melodies with poignant words. Her first guitar was given to her by her uncle, Bill Owens, who saw her musical promise a year later. It was a turning point in Dolly's life when she realized that music was a means of expressing her spirit. She started writing songs about her surroundings using that little guitar. They were always hopeful and loving, despite being honest tales of hardship. Dolly's experiences in the Appalachian Mountains significantly impacted her music and helped mold her. Every word and tune was connected to recollections of a challenging yet loving upbringing. She discovered how to create songs that captivated audiences with her colorful tales. Coat of Many Colors and other songs depict a life in which love prevailed over adversity. Early career. Dolly Parton had aspirations of a successful career in music from an early age. She actively sought chances to display her skills because of her intense desire. When she was only 9, Dolly started appearing on local television and radio programs in East Tennessee in 1955. She developed her voice and learned to enthrall audiences with assurance and honesty on small stages at church functions or on the Cass Walker Show. Dolly's debut on the Grand Ole Opry's storied stage at 13 was a significant turning point in her nascent career. Dolly's soaring voice and emotional performing style astounded the crowd when she was introduced by none other than country music legend Johnny Cash. A celebrity was about to be born since the audience was so captivated that they demanded 3 encores. Her dream was cemented at that moment. She was sure that she could change the music business. Dolly spent no time after graduating from high school in 1964. She packed her things and left for Nashville to achieve her aspirations. However, there were several challenges in the capital of country music. Dolly faced obstacles in a male-dominated field where it was sometimes tricky for up-and-coming vocalists with ambition to get recognition. Nashville's early years were filled with adversity and despair. On other evenings, Dolly could not purchase whole meals and only consumed condiments like ketchup and mustard. She had to create ketchup soup to combat hunger, as she previously revealed on the Dolly Parton's America podcast. Dolly refused to give up and was committed to using her skills and diligence to establish her value. Her songwriting career. After signing with Combine Publishing, her first big break, she started creating songs. Several well-known musicians recorded Dolly's tunes after she immediately wowed them with her extraordinary songwriting abilities. She didn't want to remain in the background, however. Dolly yearned to be acknowledged for her abilities on stage and to become a real celebrity. Monument Records signed Dolly in 1965 after quickly seeing her enormous potential. The company first attempted to promote her as a pop artist since they thought her young look and endearing voice would be more appropriate for the genre. Dolly thought she wasn't being herself when she recorded a few pop tunes, but they didn't significantly affect her. She realized that country music was her calling and where she could flourish. Monument Records finally consented to Dolly's attempt at country music. She demonstrated straight once that this was her true calling. In 1967, she recorded her debut country hit, Dumb Blonde, which shot to number 24 on the Billboard country charts. Despite the title's apparent irony, Dumb Blonde was a daring declaration of Dolly's creativity and independence, demonstrating that she was anything from the innocent young woman that others may have assumed her to be. Due to the song's popularity, Dolly was able to reach a broader audience in the country music industry. Her debut album. Monument Records published Dolly's first album, Hello, I'm Dolly, in 1967, and it quickly became a hit in the music industry. Standout songs like Something Fishy and Dumb Blonde from the album solidified Dolly's status as a bright new voice in country music. Hi there, I'm Dolly, and I wanted to introduce you to her distinct voice and genuine storytelling style, which is brimming with unfiltered passion. Meeting Porter Wagoner, one of the greatest names in country music at the time, was a significant turning point in Dolly's career. In 1967, Wagoner encouraged Dolly to join the Porter Wagoner Show after being enthralled by her charm and skill. Audiences were captivated by the connection between their voices, and the show swiftly rose to prominence as one of the most cherished television shows. Despite their early resistance, often yelling the name of the previous performer, Norma Jean, Dolly's elegance and lovely voice gradually won over viewers. With Wagoner's help, Dolly performed in prominent venues and made television appearances, which helped her become well-known across America. Dolly Parton demonstrated that she was a gifted and driven artist, despite the obstacles and discrimination she encouraged in her early years. She gained patience and resiliency from her early Nashville experiences, which prepared her well for her ascent to even higher heights and her transformation into the beloved living legend she is today. Successful career. In 1974, Dolly Parton emerged from Porter Wagoner's shadow and set out to achieve the pinnacles of her solo career. The following years were a spectacular eruption of prosperity. When she decided to establish her reputation, Dolly demonstrated that she was an autonomous artist with unparalleled skill and power rather than just a sidekick. Her poignant ballad, I Will Always Love You, which she wrote as a goodbye to Porter Wagoner, demonstrated Dolly's extraordinary songwriting abilities and became an enduring classic. In 1974 and 1982, when Dolly re-recorded the song, For the movie The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, it shot to the top of the country charts. However, I Will Always Love You was not only about country music. Whitney Houston's version of The Bodyguard, which peaked at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 for 14 weeks in a row in 1992, became an international sensation. Dolly Parton's place in country music and as a globally influential cultural icon was solidified by the extraordinary success of Whitney Houston's rendition of I Will Always Love You. Dolly Parton's prime came in the 1970s and 1980s when she put out several hit songs that became classics. Jolene's simple but enthralling melody and heartbreaking love tale lyrics sent it to the top of the country charts in 1973, making it one of the most covered songs ever. Dolly's captivating voice and distinctive narrative skills were fully displayed in the song, which helped the audience remember Jolene for a long time. Dolly changed her appearance by pursuing mainstream music in 1977. Though it was a daring shift, the album Here You Come Again demonstrated that Dolly wasn't scared to embrace change and take chances. You Come Again. Her first significant crossover song, Here You Come Again, peaked at #3 on the Billboard Hot 100 and won Dolly a Grammy for Best Female Country Vocal Performance. With more than 1 million copies sold, the record propelled Dolly to new heights and made her a mainstream celebrity without alienating her country music fanbase. She expanded her influence and dominated the music industry thanks to this critical turning point. When Dolly made her cinematic debut in the 1980s, her acting career took off. She had a massive success in her first part, co-starring with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin in 9 to 5 in 1980. The movie was a huge success, receiving praise from viewers and earning Dolly a nomination for Best Actress at the Golden Globes. Dolly penned and sang the title song, 9 to 5, which became a huge success, reaching the top of the country and Billboard Hot 100 charts. Millions of women were inspired by the upbeat tune, which also called for justice and equal rights in the workplace. It ignited a strong movement. After 9 to 5's popularity with more well-known movies, Dolly kept shining on her big screen. Dolly's reputation in the movie business was cemented when she co-starred with Burt Reynolds in the highly acclaimed 1982 picture The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. Her performance in Steel Magnolias in 1989, a timeless film with an all-star ensemble that included Sally Field, Julia Roberts, and Shirley MacLaine, demonstrated Dolly's range and left viewers with poignant and humorous moments that stuck with them. Dolly Parton built a name for herself in movies and her well-known singing career. Her performances in Steel Magnolias, 9 to 5, and The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas demonstrated her versatility and further cemented her status as a multi-talented performer. Dollywood. Dollywood, the theme park Dolly established in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee in 1986, is among her most significant accomplishments. The park, which honors Dolly's Appalachian roots, has become a popular tourist attraction and a cultural icon of the American South. Dollywood has improved the economy, given thousands of local employment, and opened doors for families like Dolly's who were raised in poverty. Dollywood welcomes more than 3 million tourists a year and provides exciting entertainment while preserving and showcasing Southern culture via traditional music, crafts, and food. As a testament to Dolly's passion for the natural world and dedication to animal care, the park also has the most significant eagle refuge in the country. But things haven't always gone as planned. Due to safety concerns, Dollywood has encountered legal problems. A prominent case was filed in 2014 when a lady was seriously hurt after falling while getting off a ride. In 2019, a lady filed a second case claiming she had spinal damage after being tossed from a water ride and was awarded $2 million in compensation. Dolly Parton addressed the problems and worked to improve park safety despite these obstacles, maintaining her optimism. Her unflinching devotion and aggressive leadership evidenced her resilience and commitment to guaranteeing Dollywood's continued success. Even in adversity, Dolly Parton has always kept her optimism and unwavering dedication to her efforts. Community service. Her art, singing, and unending volunteer work have enhanced the globe. She's left a lasting cultural legacy that's impacted millions of people globally, from spreading happiness via her sincere films to her charitable endeavors and Dollywood theme park. Throughout her 60-year career, Dolly Parton has received 11 Grammy Awards, including the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award, out of 51 nominations. Along with several other notable accolades, she's been inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame and the Country Music Hall of Fame. Dolly won the National Medal of Arts, the highest honor bestowed by the U.S. government on artists, after being recognized for her creative talents with the Kennedy Center Honors in 2006. Dolly Parton inspires generations and is more than just a music star. Her profession is the ideal fusion of commercial savvy, creative skill, and a kind heart. Dolly has shown that no desire is insurmountable with her optimism and unwavering energy, and she remains a shining figure in both the music and charity industries. Personal life. Even though she is one of the most well-known celebrities in the world, Dolly Parton has maintained a relatively quiet existence, particularly regarding her marriage to Carl Thomas Dean. Shortly after Dolly relocated to Nashville to further her musical career, the two met in 1964. It was in a laundry named Wishy Washy when Carl, who was 21, first met Dolly. They just had a short conversation before falling in love. Dolly wore a short skirt, and Carl always quipped that his first impression of her was of her gorgeous legs. 2 years later, in 1966, they were married. And their love story has lasted for more than 50 years, which is uncommon in the entertainment industry. The glamour of the entertainment world doesn't appeal to Carl Thomas Dean, a calm, reticent guy. Prefers a simple life. Dolly is dazzling and charismatic on stage, but Carl would rather live a modest life away from the spotlight. Despite being the long-standing companion of a global celebrity, he's kept a grounded lifestyle, concentrating on daily chores, and he seldom ever goes with Dolly to essential events. Dolly has often said that their independence and mutual space are the keys to their long-lasting marriage. "We always spend time apart, and I think that's one of the reasons our marriage has lasted," remarked Dolly. Carl has been unwavering in his support of Dolly's goals and interests. Their choice to forego having children is an intriguing part of their relationship. According to Dolly, she and Carl gave motherhood a lot of consideration, including choosing names for the hypothetical kids. But they decided to go a different route because of their hectic schedules and Dolly's successful profession. Dolly initially laments not having kids. Mother to millions. She eventually realized, however, that it enabled her to focus entirely on her music and philanthropic activities, especially the Imagination Library initiative. She shared her love of reading and sent books to millions of children throughout the globe via her project, acting as a mother to them. Despite not having biological children, Dolly often claims that the books she provides make her feel like a mother to many, which gives her great happiness and contentment. In addition to being a well-known figure in country music, a gifted actress, and a shrewd entrepreneur, Dolly Parton represents fortitude, compassion, and unwavering love. Dolly continues to shine despite setbacks and obstacles in life, inspiring and delivering joy to millions of followers throughout the globe. Tragedies and dark times. Under the glittering spotlight of a career spanning more than 60 years, Dolly Parton has seen unimaginable tragedies and sad times. Her bright grin and vivacious personality belied years of suffering, despair, and internal struggles she had to face head-on. Dolly suffered from the extreme strain of the brutal music business during her formative years in Nashville, where ambitions may be dashed at any time. Despite her youth and vulnerability at the time, Dolly was adamant about not letting failure stop her. Nevertheless, she was often drawn into the depths of despair by the crushing loneliness and the worry of not being enough. When Dolly had a severe mental health crisis in the early 1980s, it was the darkest time of her life. Her career was at its height, but she fell into a profound melancholy due to the unrelenting demands of her job, loneliness, and complex relationships. She referred to these periods as "my darkest days," during which she experienced both bodily and mental suffering. She described an emotional affair as a soulmate relationship, which caused her to feel terrible and engage in severe self-recrimination, further entangling her in a dark place. This relationship's agony resulted in severe mental pain and physical problems. Dolly started overeating, which led to weight gain and other health issues. Exhaustion, restless nights, pessimistic thoughts, and a dread of being engulfed by a reality she no longer recognized characterized each day. Dolly even considered taking her own life at one point. The overwhelmed thought. She was overcome by gloomy thoughts and felt as if she had no way out of the ocean of pain. Her little puppy, Popeye, came running to her side one day while she was sitting next to a rifle she had contemplated using to put an end to her suffering. She was startled and returned to reality as Popeye sprang into her lap. Dolly saw this as a divine message, a reminder that there was still beauty and meaning in her life, and that her goal was to continue sharing love and happiness. In the following days, she prayed fervently to find inner peace and eventually got beyond her predicament. Extremist organizations such as the Ku Klux Klan threatened Dolly during this tumultuous period because she publicly supported the LGBTQ+ community and hosted Gay Pride Day at Dollywood. Dolly refused to give in or be intimidated despite the risk. She persisted in defending her principles and remained steadfast in her convictions. Although she was afraid for her safety and the protection of those close to her, she remained unwavering in her resolve to never allow any force to quell her compassion or her pursuit of justice. Dolly has suffered from other personal losses, including the 2017 passing of Don Warden, her longtime manager and close friend. The heartbreaking news. His death was a sad blow since Warden had been a rock of support from the beginning of her career. She learned about her niece, Parton's tragic death from a heroin overdose a few months later. Even though Dolly had paid for Trevor's therapy and done all she could to assist him to overcome his addiction, the catastrophe still occurred. Dolly's heart ached from the series of losses, but she always turned her suffering into inspiration to live a better life and show compassion to others. Looking back on those difficult moments, Dolly Parton's incredible skill and inner grit are evident. She's often said that these difficulties have strengthened her and increased her empathy for other people's suffering. Because of those difficult times, Dolly became the extraordinary lady the world adores, someone who never allows hardship to define her. Instead, it turns pain into power, bringing her joy, love, and light to everyone. Philanthropy and community contributions. Dolly Parton is well known for her generosity and strong commitment to her community, as well as her singing and acting. The establishment of the Imagination Library in 1995 was her most notable humanitarian accomplishment. Dolly started this effort in memory of her father, Robert Lee Parton, who never learned to read or write, to give out free books to kids from birth until they entered kindergarten. Dolly proudly describes how her father was touched and honored when she was referred to as the Book Lady, representing generosity and a passion for education. From Dolly's hometown in Sevier County, the Imagination Library swiftly spread across the United States and other countries, including Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and the Republic of Ireland. Over 100 million books have been sent to kids throughout the globe as a result of the initiative, inspiring a passion for reading and a desire to learn among successive generations of young people. Symbol of compassion. Dolly's commitment to leveraging her celebrity for good is shown by this project, which also serves as a meaningful present for kids and establishes her as a legitimate symbol of compassion. Dolly's generosity extends beyond the Imagination Library. Over the years, she's been an ardent supporter of many other philanthropic initiatives. She's contributed millions of dollars to humanitarian initiatives, from supporting medical research to helping Tennessee catastrophe victims. Dolly contributed $1 million to the research that created the Moderna vaccine at Vanderbilt University Medical Center during the COVID-19 epidemic. She gained international acclaim for her deed. She maintains her modesty and sincerity in all her humanitarian endeavors, never looking for praise but just wanting to spread her blessings. Public image and unexpected intelligence. Dolly Parton has never allowed people to undervalue her, even with her glitzy appearance of wigs, makeup, and dazzling attire. Instead, she's shown herself as a capable and astute entrepreneur by skillfully using her image to create a distinctive brand. Dolly Parton previously revealed that her appearance is a conscious tactic, saying, "I may look fake, but I'm genuine." Many are surprised and impressed by the difference between her looks and her keen intelligence. Dolly's quick wit and sense of humor have always astounded the audience, and one of her most memorable performances was in 1977 with Barbara Walters. Walters made fun of Dolly's looks and inquired if she felt like a joke. Her confidence and intelligence. "I'm completely comfortable and secure in myself," Dolly said with her usual composure, adding that it was up to her whether or not she wanted to experiment with cosmetics and clothing. Dolly's confidence and intellect have been reinforced by responses such as these, which have enabled her to rise above criticism with grace. Dolly's success stems from her ability to create a powerful entertainment empire and her singing skills. She's generated a sizable income with over 3,000 copyrighted compositions and several popular albums. Her estimated net worth has grown to $500 million thanks to her business endeavors, which include the Dollywood theme park and other businesses. She has shown that a woman with intellect, knowledge, and outstanding managerial abilities can create a strong financial empire from modest beginnings. Current life and legacy. Dolly Parton is still living a whole and creative life at age 78. She is still involved in both her personal and musical endeavors in 2024. On September 17th, she and her sister, Rachel Parton George, published the cookbook Good Look Cooking, which included more than 80 classic family recipes. Dolly has also revealed Threads, My Songs and Symphony, a new musical endeavor. In partnership with a symphony orchestra, this multimedia narrative experience will premiere in Nashville on March 20th, 2025 with more performances. Personally, Dolly and Carl Dean have been married for more than 57 years and have a solid marriage. Dolly has often said that their relationship has remained fresh and their appreciation for one another has grown due to their time apart. The United States presented Dolly with the Peace Through Music Award in October 2024. Department of State and the Recording Academy recognizing her contribution to using her music to promote cultural understanding and peace. A timeless legacy. Dolly Parton is now a cultural icon that cannot be replaced. In addition to inspiring future generations of performers, her success has dissolved genre boundaries and expanded the appeal of country music. Because of their enthralling melodies and poignant backstories, songs like Jolene, Coat of Many Colors, and I Will Always Love You have endured as timeless masterpieces. Having worked in the entertainment business for over 50 years, Dolly has reshaped it and established a personal style. She's become a legendary character by overcoming the highs and lows of life. Her legacy is based on the principles she's ingrained in the hearts of millions of people, not merely on accolades and record sales. Dolly Parton is a live example of turning obstacles into inspiration to change the world, whether it's via her music, movies, or charitable endeavors. She's impacted numerous lives, and future generations will continue to be inspired by her legacy. Dolly Parton represents compassion, courage, and an unbreakable soul. She's more than a performer. Her remarkable fortitude and uncommon generosity are evident to everybody who's heard her tale. Someone like Dolly Parton, a celebrity her followers will always cherish, is a blessing to the world. If you've watched the video till here, that means you've enjoyed the video. Subscribe. Don't forget to turn on the notifications bell icon